We'll do the things we love again. We'll hang out with friends. We'll put our screens away and be amazed by what's been waiting for us. We'll dance and eat and laugh again. We'll look in our own backyard and find that it is full of wonders. There will be adventures and art. We will stand in the sunshine and we will be free. Where will you go first?
Good evening again, everyone. Welcome back. Here we are, week 6 of Fish East Live, presented in conjunction with the Maritime Boating and Outdoor Digital Marketplace and our friends at Master Promotions. We teased our special mystery guest again last week, and it's just the nature of the beast, folks. Once you see who this mystery guest is going to be, you'll understand. But, the gentleman has an extremely busy schedule, and we just couldn't connect the dots again this week, but we are looking forward to having him on in the not so distant future. I don't want to say very near because that might be a little close, but the not so distant future. So, but don't fear, we have a great show for you tonight. We have some great guests because at the end of the day, where would we be without our local tackle shops? So we're going to bring on some guests. We have 3 great maritime tackle shops with representatives joining us this evening. But before we get to them, as always, joining me from his hot seat down in Nova Scotia, my co-host and friend, Mr. Matt Zito.
Hi, Donnie. How are you?
Good, Matt. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm great, buddy.
You're lying to me. If you were great, you'd be covered in mud and fishing big stripers.
Yeah, you caught me. You got me. Yeah, it is what it is. But, other than that, things are good, man. Things are good.
No, that's good. That's good. So there's always next year. And I mean, it's not like they're the only species you've got around to fish. You've got a lake in your backyard. What are you complaining about?
Yeah, there's no stripers in it, though. But, well, actually, there is, kind of. I've seen them before in there, but small ones and rare. But, that's, I do. I'm spoiled.
You are spoiled. So I'm not going to give you a whole lot of sympathy. I sympathize or empathize for your whole province, but you personally, you're not getting a lot of sympathy from me.
No, but, I got to fish closer to home and spend more time in some lakes close to home, and I've got some nice trout out of them this year and, put more time into it because usually I'm on the river now for stripers. So, it's been nice. It's been a change.
Well, if it's any consolation, I've fished once so far this year. So,
you got to fix that, man.
Oh, we're gonna fix that. We've got a real fun day. The shad are starting to run, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Nice.
And we got a real fun day coming up. So, get some business out of the way, and then we'll get on to some fun for the rest of the season. So,
absolutely,
Matt. We all love a local tackle shop.
Yeah.
You stop down to the local tackle shop. You're going to probably do 2 things. You're going to spend too much time and too much money. But
absolutely,
neither one of those is really a bad thing. I mean, you hang out with the proprietor of the local shop or the other customers that are there. You tell some fish stories because we all know fishermen are completely honest and would never lie.
Never.
And you bring home your next stash of goodies and gear up and get ready to go again. And, as we said, if you saw our little preview blurb or our little teaser, these shops are the heart and soul of our fishing community. So,
yeah. And I mean, the amount of knowledge that you'll get from a local tackle shop, you're probably not going to get that from one of your bigger chain stores. These guys who run these shops are They probably grew up in the area where their shop is. They know what's working, when it works, and they've got the gear that you're going to want.
Yeah, exactly. They've got their finger on the pulse, so to speak, of their local community. Mm-hmm. So first off, we're going to go up to the one place I've had a chance to fish this year, to Miramichi, New Brunswick, and a gentleman who has definitely been keeping his finger on the pulse of Miramichi striped bass fishing. Please welcome Mr. Dan Mcdonald from Big Rigs Tackle.
How you doing, guys?
Hi, Dan.
Doing great, Dan, and yourself?
Pretty good, buddy. Pretty good. Can't complain. And even if I could, nobody would listen.
Oh, we'd always listen, for a couple minutes.
Yeah,
and then,
no doubt.
And then we'd want to know what the hot bait is that day so we can buy a bunch, run out the door, and hit the Miramichi.
For sure.
So you guys, I assume, Dan, are probably at your busiest point of the season right now with the spring run?
Yeah, it's coming to a crescendo. It's coming right to a peak right now, and then it's going to start tapering off here in the next couple of weeks. But we've been busy.
So how long has Big Rigs Tackle been in business, Dan?
Just since last year.
Okay, so you guys, I wasn't 100% sure. I knew you were a newer shop, but I wasn't 100% sure. So basically, you guys have had the experience much the same as one of our other guests, possibly both of our other guests. I don't know about John. You've built your business throughout a pandemic.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it was tough. Like I can't say the pandemic crippled us, but at the same time, there was pros and cons to as far as a new business. As soon as people were able to go and fish, we had a whole lot of first-time anglers, and some were up in age, some were young, so it was kind of awesome that way. And I got all these customers again this year that are coming to see us because we got them on fish and we helped them out, and they're just right happy. Like they fell in love with a fishery that we've all known probably since we were kids. So that part of it's amazing.
Yeah, anytime you can help out a new angler, whether it be someone young or someone older.
That's right.
Respectfully, someone younger or older, it's just helping out a new angler. There's an absolute thrill to that.
100%.
You're lucky enough that, you're in a position, to do that almost on a daily basis.
Pretty much. Yeah, definitely. Especially kids. That lights you up more than seeing a kid catch their first fish. And we got our contests going on with kids. We're always giving free lures out and stuff to kids. And that's all. That's what we are. We're a family run. We're a family business. By myself and the owner, my partner, Mike King. So we're guys who like to fish. Who decide, hey, let's start selling some tackle. So that's what we did. We got together and.
Okay, and you said the pandemic, kind of crippled you for a little bit, and then, things started to turn around once restrictions started to be loosened.
Well, it not so much crippled, but how can I say that? It definitely made things challenging and different. That was, especially we were terrified because we were like, oh boys, what are we gonna do? Because we're sitting all this product, we didn't have a building, and so everything kind of fell through the cracks. But we pulled through it, and that's only due because of our great customers. That's from the local community support that we've had since day one, which has been amazing, and just continues to grow.
Well, speaking of growth, for those of you who didn't get a chance, go back through our Fish East videos on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, and you will see a video of myself and Dan at their old location that we filmed last year. You have since moved from that. You said it was roughly 180, 200 square foot.
Yeah, give or take, right around there.
Location. So you've moved from there. Where are you located now? And I know we have a picture of your new shop, and I can promise you it's just a touch bigger than 180 square feet.
Just a tad, yeah. Right now, so we moved from Newcastle up to Douglastown. We're at 2512 King George Highway, and we're right in the epicenter, really, of the business district in Miramichi here. Like as far as shopping malls and stuff go, we're right across from Burger King, the Northumberland Mall. It's been this has been huge for us, like major, and it's better for the customers. They got time, they can walk through, and because of social distancing and all this stuff with COVID, it makes it a lot easier to have a few extra heads in the store. And and that's only one section. We got another section that's all of local crafters that make everything from fishing priests to hand painted artwork. So it's just amazing. It's really helped us out for sure.
No, and I love that's kind of what tonight was all about, was the whole idea of supporting local, and you guys are taking that to the next level. Now, you are well known for striper products, especially your striper bait, striper rods. Are you guys specializing specifically in striper right now? Or if somebody were to come to Miramichi to take part in some of the world famous salmon fishing or something like that, can you hook them up with their fly fishing needs as well?
Right now, obviously we're still in baby steps as far as where we want to see ourselves in the next few years, right? So right now we're focusing on our bread and butter, which just happens to be stripers. But we do have salmon flies, trout flies. We have a little bit of trout here. We've got like worms in the back, and stuff like that. And we're slowly adding to our repertoire of different species. So it's just going to be one of those things where, as we can get more stuff in and we can budget it all, then we're going to keep adding and growing, and that's our objective.
Yeah. What's the hot ticket item right now? What's the bait that people are buying up right now?
That's such a loaded question.
Spill the beans.
Yeah, it's a loaded question because first thing I have to ask: are you fishing from a boat or from shore? Are you fishing deep water? Are you fishing shallow water? So there's a million questions. But if I was fishing, say, upriver right now, I'd be going with weightless jerk baits. I'd be going with top water stuff, and that's where I'd be hitting it, like in the flats. When you're 3 to 5 feet of water, water's a lot warmer. And I go, and I'll get actually an example here. So just something as simple as this, which just a 6-inch bass candy with a weightless EWG hook, and they just smoke that. And there's nothing that beats top water and subsurface, because when they hit it, it feels like a freight train at the end of the line, right? It's just amazing. It's my favorite way to fish.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Matt hates freight train fish.
I don't like it. No, I don't like it. They hit too hard. It scares me. I don't like it.
Yeah.
No, don't worry, Matt. Dan can take care of you. They sell cut bait or sell frozen bait for chunk bait too. So
we're getting some
right after you.
We've had people asking for that already, and we're getting some here tomorrow. Mike made a call, and we're having some here tomorrow. So
there you go.
I've had fish hit chunk bait pretty hard too. I've seen rods go right down the muddy banks of the Stewiacke and into the water. So
that's why I use their bait runner. Flip that switch.
Me too. You're right. Absolutely.
Don't forget to flip the switch. Yeah.
Listen, I had an uncle that lost his rod almost twice. He got it the first time and lost it the second time, and that was within a half hour. So if they're hungry enough and they want to go, they'll go.
I've seen I haven't been on the boat when it happened, but I know a lad that he guides, and I'm not going to say his name, but there was a fish that hit, and it ripped the Scotty rod holder right off the boat and everything. The rod gone. So that was pretty insane. Yeah. So he upgraded and he beefed those right up.
Oh, that would suck. That would definitely suck. Now,
100%.
I'm assuming that the Striper Cup going on right now has definitely pushed your numbers up locally. I mean, you seeing a lot of out of town action, a lot of people from out of town coming into the shop and paying you a visit.
Yeah, I mean, it's this year is compared to last year. It's definitely busier, but I think a big part of that is actually our location, because we're targeting another sector now, like the people out in Naguac and a little further up the coast, that when we're in Newcastle, they come to do their shopping here typically. They won't go all the way to Newcastle. And we're closer to Chatham. The bridge is right over here, like just a hop, skip, and a jump. So we're getting a bunch of new faces, which is just amazing. So it's definitely helped us a lot by moving here. So,
well, for those of you who aren't familiar with the geography, you may have to dig out a little bit of an older map when Dan is referring to Chatham and Newcastle, and there was a number of municipalities amalgamated a few years back, forming the city of Miramichi. So. But let's just say Dan's in a lot higher traffic area now than what he was, and I'm guessing a lot bigger parking lot. You can hold more than two pickup trucks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could probably have easily a dozen boats and trailers out in our parking lot now. Yeah, easily.
So, have you been on the water yourself, Dan?
Not a whole lot. Every chance I get, though. But I've been busy here. I've been focusing on my customers. Even when I'm at home. I'll answer my last text messages right around 11 o'clock, 11:30 some nights, and I answer them all. I get to everybody.
No, that's awesome. So, if you got social media links somewhere that people can find you, and maybe a phone number that you can rattle out if someone needs to track you down.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, we're, like I said, we're located at 2512 King George Highway. And I'd like to say this out too, because if you go on Google Maps and you type in Big Rigs Tackle, it's sending people to the old location at 510 King George Highway. And we tried to rectify that. We've been just hitting a brick wall with that. So we're having a difficult time getting Google to update it. But yeah, so you can reach us at, actually, I got to look up my number here because I never called the shop. So I'll just do this. How's that?
I don't know if we can see it. 506
625 0476. For sure. And we're open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays are open 9 to 5, and Sundays 12 to 5.
Oh, so you are open on Sundays too?
We are, yeah, 7 days a week.
Perfect. Dan, I can't say enough about, like I said, we were up and paid you a visit last fall, and seeing the new shop, I really got to get up again this year and pay you another visit, because that location looks, nothing, sure, not that there was anything wrong with the cozy feel in the other place, but seeing
it was a little too cozy, especially in July.
I could see it being a little too cozy in July. So,
but the other spot was hard because, I mean, you could only have really one person in at a time to really look around. It was, you know what I mean, because of COVID and everything, it's just so tiny. So here, you can walk around free, and when the wife gets bored or the husband, there's the art section, so they go down another section. They take their time, they scroll through there, look through there, and so there's a little bit of something for everyone here.
Well, and I mean that means a lot. So, we have to make sure that you're looked after, that your customers are looked after.
100%. That's number one for us. And customer service is something that, in my opinion, has been lacking. I mean, over the last couple of decades, like, it's not what it used to be. So we're trying to bring that back as much as we can, right? So, and it's just that personal touch. When someone comes in, I might forget their name, but I don't forget a face. And but even though it's hard with the mask now sometimes, but as soon as they start talking, then I remember the voice or whatever. So and now I'm starting to learn. I met so many friends just through the shop. Like, now I fish with these people and we get along great. And it's just been it's a whole social aspect of it as well. It's not just selling tackle. It's like, guy comes in, he tells you a sad story, his rod broke, and and you try and help him with the best you can, or he caught a big fish and because you give him a bit of advice that actually worked that day for him. And that's what makes it work, really, for me personally. That's my high on it.
So for anyone who was just new getting into fishing, I guess, like, you would be able to set them up. If they walked in your door, you could just set them up with whatever.
Oh, yes.
You got everything you need.
By the time they leave here, they'll have everything they need to hit the water and start fishing.
There you go. Head into Dan's shop and get yourself set up and get into some of those big fish out that way.
Yeah, it's
definitely.
And Matt, I know they're not big by Stewiacke standards, but the run in the Miramichi, from what I've seen, has been really, really high quality fish this year.
The numbers of bigger fish. I remember just 3 years ago, you get a 32-inch fish, and that was the talk of the day and maybe the week. Now that's commonplace. It's There was one day I was out. I was on Mother's Day actually, and there was 3 of us out, and we probably landed close to 200 fish in about 2 hours. And the smallest one was probably 28 inches. So I mean, it was a good day. Like, and that's just a testament to how the slot size, all the efforts in conservation and keeping this great fishery alive is actually proving to become true. Like, it's working. Yeah. So I'm really proud of that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, the works of the Striper Cup team and the Stripe Bass Research team and everyone that's put the effort into that area, it's just good things for years to come for the fishery and for an outstanding local business like yours, Dan. So
I appreciate it. No, and again, we appreciate everybody who's doing their part to help promote this fishery, get the word out, get kids involved, get families out the house, off the Xboxes, and away from the television screens for a little bit, and get some fresh air and go catch, some beautiful fish. This is a rare opportunity that most people in the world don't have. So it's an amazing river system, amazing fish fish industry. Like it's just incredible.
Yeah, definitely. Before we let you go, Dan, and don't run away too far when we do, because we will bring you back towards the end of the show. Anyone that you need to send a shout out to? Any big thank yous or hellos?
Yeah, definitely the owner and a good friend of mine, Mike King. Without him, I wouldn't be able to do this right now. And I know without me, he wouldn't be where he is either. Chris Manuel's been helping us out a lot. Great friend of ours as well. Oscar LeBlanc, who's he's our ambassador now, so he's helping us promote us too as well, and taking kids out fishing, and we're partnering up and helping out a lot of people. But to name people, there's just so many, and I know I'm going to miss a bunch. So I don't want to get I don't want to get in trouble. So, but I will say this: that without the local support of everyone that's involved, and they all know who they are, we never would be where we are. And number one is our customers. I mean, that's paramount. Without them, we wouldn't be what we are today.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great way to look at things, Dan. And we can't thank you enough for coming on. Without folks like you doing what you do, then it doesn't really give Matt and I much to do. We'd be sitting here talking to each other, and people would get tired of that after a while. One last thing, and this is just me saying hats off to you. I've been watching you or following you guys on social media. I've been seeing what you've been doing with the giveaways for the kids. Kudos to you guys for that.
Yeah.
Great initiative to get more kids out on the water.
And that's the thing, because I mean, they are the future, literally, of everything, not just the fishing industry, but the world. Like, these are our kids, so let's give them some good foundation, to stand on, and just make for a better world, in my opinion. And again, we couldn't do it without all our sponsors and all the people that are helping us out. Streamside donated some stuff. Emery donated some stuff. Oscar LeBlanc donated his time to take kids out. Rick Hall donated rods. You name it. So it's just been awesome. Jason Ring gave a $500 donation to Fish Kids, which I got to give a shout out, because that was outstanding. That's amazing, and that's the community support that we're talking about. We want to feel when people come through the door here and everyone goes, we want everyone to feel like family. Like this is a fun thing. It doesn't have to be a super competitive thing. It's a fun thing. It's a family thing, and that's what we want to instill.
Perfect. Well, I think there's no better note to say goodbye for now on that than, look after your fishing family.
Right on, buddy.
So thank you, Dan. We'll talk to you again here very shortly.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
See you, Dan. What a nice shop there. Whenever I can get a chance to get up there, I got to pop in and see it.
Yeah, well, they get that bubble opened up, buddy, and we'll do some traveling around this summer.
100%. 100%.
So we're going a little closer to you than to me next time. This time around. Why don't you tell us who's up next?
So we've got John Foster from the Wild Valley Company. I've been following this store here. That they're fairly new, and I've been following them on social media there. They got some great stuff going up. It looks like their shop is awesome. Their website is mint. They do online ordering and all that. So I had to bring them on to kind of see what they're all about. Right now, like, we can't. I actually had planned on getting down there, take the family down for a day down towards the valley. It's beautiful down there. Maybe pop in, but not really allowed to go anywhere right now. So I thought maybe I'll just get him on and he can tell me all about it. So maybe we can bring on John from Wild Valley down in Wolfville. Hey, John.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Thanks
for having me.
Thanks for coming on short notice there.
Please, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I was just telling everybody how awesome your shop looks online. I'd love to get there in person. So maybe you can kind of just give us a rundown of what your shop there is all about.
Yeah, I mean, we are super new. The idea really came together last year. I had a climbing gym actually in the space. My other business is a martial arts gym and that, so everything was shut down. It's kind of a light bulb moment that we needed a tackle shop and a camping shop where we are. I mean, myself and my group of friends fish, we camp, we bow hunt and that, and we're always driving. We're going to the city, we're going to HRM, and we're going online. Or you're going to Canadian Tire and trying to scrounge up something decent to work with. Yeah, man. So, I mean, thought about it for a while. I talked to a couple of my friends actually on a fishing trip last year. We caught a bunch of bass, we caught some pickerel. We're having a fry up, and it just kind of sprung the idea on them. And that's where my good friends Alex and Kyle came on board from that trip. And then went and spoke with my brother Tim, who's half of Dose Media. He liked the idea, so he ran it by his business partner Matt, and Dose came on as a whole. So that's why our branding and our website and all that stuff, our social media looks so good, because it's being handled by Tim and Matt over at Dose Media. They're partners in the company. And then myself and Alex and Kyle, we tore out the climbing gym. We renovated the whole space all winter, and basically just like 50, 60 hours a week, put a store together for the last 6 months. We finally, or 7 months, whatever it was, we got opened up at the end of March, just in time for fishing season. Our fishing licenses showed up at the door the day before we opened. We were open for a month, and then we were shut down again for the restrictions. So we barely got our foot in the door. We had a good first month, and then we're doing curbside pickup now. Thankfully, our website is as legit as it is, but it's not the same, man, because fully well you don't make any money off fishing licenses, but the 100 guys that came in those couple of weeks to buy them, they buy some tackle, they check out the rods. Like, we got a freezer full of frozen bait right now, and we haven't sold any of that through the internet, right? So it's, we've done well with like sup boards and things like that, but
Canada Post does not want that frozen bait put in the mail.
I tell you, man, it don't matter if it's frozen or not. That friggin' gas bro smells so bad.
Oh, you don't have to tell me.
Yeah, just slime, man. So anyway, I mean, things are a little different right now. Like I said, we did have a great start. We're a fishing, camping, and Timberland Pro store. So we did in the last couple of weeks while we were shut down, all our Timberland Pro boots and workwear arrived, and we had a bunch of work to do to put that up. We've had more, back orders from TFO and Thermarest and that showing up. So we've stayed real busy, just kind of pumping the inventory in the store and getting the orders out that we can. But we're basically just doing curbside pickup a couple days a week, and doing the best we can, man. Like, he talked, like Dan was saying about the customers and this and that, and even the short amount of time we were open to the public, it was awesome how much you just learn, because all these guys come in, they want to tell you about what they're using and what's working and what they've been doing and where they're going, and we're just like soaking it up, man. A guy comes in, he's like 90 years old, and he's been fly fishing for longer than my parents have been alive, and just stuff like that. It's been awesome, I gotta say, right off the bat. It really makes a big difference, and like, it's one of those situations again where our competitors are basically Walmart and Canadian Tire. So they're open right now. They're selling whatever they want. We're closed down, but it's the bringing in the tackle and the bait for the fish in the area, and not just, whatever happens to show up. It's the customer service. I've told this story so many times, talking about Wild Valley and how it came to be, because as I'm like thinking about this for weeks in my head, it's a big move to tear out a business I've been running for 8 years and spend the next 7 months working full time to build something else with everything going on. So I'm in Walmart, or I'm in an unnamed giant useless store, and this guy's loading his cart up with stuff. He's got like a couple $100 worth of tackle, and I'm like, man, like, you got to tell me what's going on. What's your secret, basically, right? He's like, oh, man, me and my buddy have never gone fishing before, so I'm just buying everything, he said. And there was nobody in the store that had even approached him to be like, hey, you look, find everything you need or whatever. Like, there's none of that happens at the big box store, right? So I said, oh, man, I said, take these 2 Panther Martins and a couple things here, and trimmed his order down about 95%. And he went off and no doubt caught fish, right? So there was a couple instances like this and that, and just made the decision and went for it, man. Our store turned out sick. We put a ton of work and a ton of time into it. Our inventory's like fleshed out now. Really hoping with the workwear that it'll deem us essential. We're just waiting to hear back on that, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, like, we're full steam ahead. Everyone in the crew, we're just enjoying the whole thing. I mean, enjoying the process, and we love the shop. Our one of our biggest issues is not just spending all our own money there and buying up all our inventory, which, I'm sure the other shop owners will tell you this year has been tough to get as far as the first year opening a store. We've been waiting on back orders for even our first item on some stuff for 6 months already. It's just not happening. But we've managed to make some awesome connections already. We've already got Wild Valley custom rods in that were built by a local guy at Wicked Sticks, Brian.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we've got
Nice.
flies being tied by the Fly Perspective, which are absolutely sick. We've got lures for vets lures, and then
Very nice.
I was mentioned to you guys earlier before we got on the show. We were approached by Nom. They came down and did like a little demo. Logan and Jimmy, we got to try out the Nom rods and the line on the parking lot, and then we jumped on board. We became the first Canadian dealer for them. So it's a higher end fly fishing line, Nom NAM, straight out of Sweden. Graphene injected graphite blanks, so they're incredibly strong and super light. So really cool things like that have come out of the woodwork already. We're guys that love to fish, love to camp, love to be outside. We saw a need in our community, so we basically just went balls in and made it happen. And the feedback and everything else we've gotten so far has just been phenomenal. So I don't think we're by any means going to slow down. Our plan is, and we do have an expansion plan for the next few years. Like, we definitely want to lean into bow hunting down the road and add that to our store. And we want to get into guiding ourselves as well, but we just want to spend a few more years fishing and running the store and building things up, and then we can use that kind of a jump off point to being on the river working, man. It's that simple.
So
Yeah.
are you really focused on one element or one style of fishing, or are you trying to cover a multitude of product lines? So if I walk in and I'm not a fly fisherman, I need a bait caster, and I'm going bass fishing, can you look after me, or are you focusing on the fly side? What's your main focus for products?
Yeah, main focus right now is everything. Like, we have enough that we can definitely rig you up with a 10-foot surf rod. You could be striper fishing. We could hook you up on a bait caster. We could get you set up on a lightweight spin rod if you want to just go fishing brookies. And then we do have the lower end, the mid end, and the high end fly fishing gear as well, right? Which locally, fly fishing gear that's decent doesn't exist, right? Canadian Tire is not going to carry Orvis or TFO or anything sensible. So we do have that now. We are kind of hitting all the different local fisheries, I guess, the different species, right? Like, you can fish your stripers, you can hit the Cornwallis, maybe get some brown trout, you can get your smallies, and of course your pickerel are absolutely everywhere, as you guys know. But we can hit them all now. It's kind of early for trends, but that's something we're very aware of. Like, we're building this store. We don't have a lot of market research to go on. Our competition's big box, so we're gonna just kind of go with the flow. We brought in basically everything we thought would work. So far, it's been great, and then we're gonna have our customers over the next couple of years. This year's hopefully we're open again soon, and it's not just a complete write-off for data, but we'll let our customers dictate where we go, and maybe we expand in fishing and we cut back camping, or vice versa, or maybe the fishing goes to, we got a pile of striper stuff in the spring, and then by like July, it's all, we'll see what happens. But right now, we're just making sure we're set up to kind of outfit anybody as best we can with the shortages in inventory that we've dealt with as well. And we've found ways to get around those too. Like, we were having a hard time getting any light 2-piece rods, so we had these dope custom Wild Valley rods made, and, filled that gap.
That's pretty sweet, man.
I'll ramble.
Definitely.
I haven't noticed.
Yeah. So I guess now with the lockdown, you must be doing pretty well with online sales. Like, where could, if I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I can't get there, but I want, like, I've looked at your website. It's really nice. How could I get one of these Nom rods from you online? Like, where do I go?
wildvalley.ca. Get into the fly fishing section, check out the Nom rods, and we'll ship one out to you, man. It's either going to be out in 48 hours, or it's usually less. Usually get that stuff out same day or the day after. I mean, we're doing a reduced amount of sales right now, we'll say, as compared to where we're open. I mean, the website's awesome, but the store is sick. Like it's built to be a bit of an experience, right? So when you walk in the door and you see all this dope stuff, and you know, you hold an $1,100 fly rod, and it's going to do a lot more for you than if you look at a picture of it on the computer.
No doubt. I 100% agree with that, and that's one of the problems with ordering online. You're like, oh, it's not really kind of what I thought it was. So that's kind of like not only like the going in and like actually talking to people in the social aspect of local stores, but you get to actually look at this stuff that you may have only ever seen online. You get to hold it, you get to feel it, and then maybe I can't.
One of us is there too, and you can hammer a bunch of questions off us. We can be like, hey man, try, here's the feel of a $350 rod. Here's the feel of a $200 rod. Here's the feel of a $1,000 rod. See the difference? That's why there's a difference. You know what I mean? That's why it costs more or whatever. And yeah, like those conversations that you can have with people are just, I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
So the tactile experience is definitely hard to beat when you go into a tackle shop. You gave us a quick little teaser, I guess, of what you're carrying on the fly side. How about on the conventional, the casting, spinning sides? What if I was going to your website looking for a rod, what am I going to see available?
What brands are we looking at right now?
Yeah, exactly.
For conventional, we're basically right now Daiwa, which has been great. Shimano is the one that's been on a massive back order, and we haven't seen a single thing. 13 Fishing, we got a few of those, and then of course the TFO and the Orvis. We've got complete kits, but we've also got individual rods and reels. And then we got in, trying to think what it was. I think it was another 13 Fishing for spin and Daiwa again. So yeah, mostly unconventional for our rods, and it's been Rapala, Daiwa, 13 Fishing, and our custom stuff along with our fly fishing. And then yeah, we're really hoping Shimano's going to start showing up sooner than later, and then go from there, man. I mean, a lot of it right now is, I don't want to say taking what we get, because we're not compromising on quality at all. Like, we really want to sell the best stuff, and if I put something in your hands and tell you it's great, and you come back, that's really going to bother me. You know what I mean? So that's been like, if you come to our store, there's a lot of nice quality things, right? And we prefer to be the shop in town where, like, yo, you want to get something cheap? Go to Canadian Tire. It's probably going to last you about 4 fishing trips, right? You want to get something sensible? You go to Wild Valley. You're going to be set up for life, and you're going to actually have a warranty on your shit. So we're catering to that. Like, you get into the Timberland Pro, it's really nice, but it's a little bit higher price point, but it's got the technical aspect and the materials and the manufacturing that meet that standard. You look at our boat inflatable sup boards, they're ridiculous. They're the tits. They're like the best ones you're going to find on the internet. That's what we carry. You look at all the BioLite stuff. You look at Thermarest and MSR, right? All that stuff. Just, I mean, not to get off the topic of fishing right away, but we had all our own swag, not the hats, but all the shirts and everything were done at Stanfield's here in Nova Scotia, right? Sewn and put together in Nova Scotia, and they're really great quality.
So what other local stuff do you carry in there? Like, I love that, the Stanfield. I didn't know that. That's awesome. Is there any other like local companies that you're selling in there? Any lures or baits or anything like that?
We do, absolutely. It's a gentleman, Kevin Burns, who made a ton of our striper rigs and weights. We brought those in. The fly perspective, I mean, he's out of Cape Breton, but he makes just phenomenal flies. We've got a couple orders in from him already. We got Handmade Flies we sell in our trout boxes, our little trout Wild Valley kits. We've got Lures for Vets. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of those guys, but they put together fishing tackle and raise money for veterans. So we carry quite a bit of his stuff. We've got the local custom rods, the Wild Valley, Born in the Wild rods, and then we've got even handmade nets that are just beautifully hand woven, handmade nets from a gentleman down in Bridgewater. So we're all over the local stuff, and a couple other things, kind of in the works or on the radar as well. Local, like, manufacturing artisans I want to touch base with, be like, yo, what if we do a custom Wild Valley version of this? I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, we're all over it, man. We're really trying to support the local guys, and man, honestly, like, like the flies and the bass rigs and stuff, like they make awesome stuff. It's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm. So now you're gonna have Matt down there cooking on the tailgate of his Dodge, making Wild Valley fish tacos.
Anytime, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
So
some Wild Valley fish taco seasoning or something. We'll put something
There
together.
you go. Yes.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
oh Lord.
I'm all
So
ears.
I guess the best thing to say right now, John, is you're going to remind the folks, you're a local business and you're carrying local products. So just because they can't walk into your store right now does not mean they cannot support a local business. They don't have to go to one of these big chain websites or into those faceless box stores.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. Like, I mean, it sucks we can't open our doors. We really hope we can again soon. It's almost so cold just selling through the internet, right? When you have that interaction with somebody and they walk out happy and you get a picture through Instagram or whatever, like, man, this kid wrote the other day, he's like, man, I just got an 18-inch bass on one of your flies and he's got the hat on and stuff, right? Like, that's the best. As far as a local shop, man, like, please check us out online. Ask us questions. Hit us up, swing by the store. We're doing curbside pickup. We'd be happy to, from a distance, ask any more questions, or even we can show you something, right? Up in front of you. But yeah, like we're local. We're planning to keep it that way, and bringing as many local products that fit our shop and fit what we're selling. We're brand new, so it's been, spend, and then open, and then close again quickly. So we're doing what we need to do right now to kind of skirt through this time and pump the shop again. But I mean, even from the time we got shut down a few weeks ago, it looks a lot different. The timberland fixtures and everything up now, and all the extra camping stuff starting to come in, and the extra fishing gear starting to roll in. So it's sweet, man. Gooder sunglasses, they turned out to be sweet.
Nice.
Yeah,
so
man.
any last shout outs, thank yous you want to get out before we ask you to just hang out in the back?
Oh man, I mean, thanks to those that have purchased from us while we've been shut down. It really does help keep things going. The whole Wild Valley team, man, I mean, I had this crazy idea, and four of these guys put their time and their money where their mouth is and made it happen, and everyone's really filled the role well and done a great job, and everyone's wife at home, every one of the team whose partner's at home, while we're working, and all of us working more than one job to make this happen. Like, we're not making money off the shop. We're still working to make our living and just putting everything into it. So that patience and that support at home goes a long ways on every one of these projects.
Yeah, it helps to have a good team behind you, or with you, I should say.
I knew there was no way I was pulling this off on my own, man. It's a massive undertaking, and it worked out awesome.
Yeah, I would say it looks great from what I've seen on social media, and the pictures, man, looks awesome. I'm excited to get down there as soon as I can.
Yeah, man, we'd love to have you down, Matt.
Perfect.
One last thing, John.
Shoot.
Excuse me. For when you can open in person, what's your actual address? Where can people find your shop?
Yeah, we're at 38 Highway 358 in Greenwich. So it's been between Wolfville and New Minas. If you get off exit 11 on the 101, drop down through the lights, and as you come around the bend, you're going to see the Abaya Mixed Martial Arts building, and we are right in the back of that building. Pretty easy to find, straight off the highway.
Perfect. Yeah, and people can reach out to you on social media too. Where would they find you there?
At Wild Valley Supply Co. on Instagram. We are on Facebook, but we're absolutely on Instagram more. And wildvalley.ca, info@wildvalley.ca if you want to shoot an email. The store phone number, 902-697-2435. By all means, we're every day, we're doing our best to check all the different avenues of communication and get back to everybody as quickly and as effectively as we can. And yeah, by all means, please hit us up with any questions you may have. We'd be more than happy to help you out.
No, that's awesome, John. I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to chat to you again here in a little bit, but for now, we got to ask you to hang out in the back.
Appreciate it, guys. Big time.
Thanks for coming on.
Talk soon.
So, I guess unbeknownst to me, all three of our guests have really, built a business during a pandemic. So, and for these guys at Wild Valley, they definitely, they bit off a lot, starting the ball rolling during a pandemic.
Mhm.
So hopefully they get their doors open soon and folks can get in and visit them in person, because it sounds like, I wish he had a few more pictures of the shop, because it sounds like they've got quite a spot on the go there, and I can't wait for people to be able to get in and spend some time in person.
Yeah, no, like I said, I mean, I've been kind of following since they opened, and I mean, first thing come out, I was like, oh, there's this new tackle shop opening up, which is, I mean, like we've talked about, like, I prefer to go to local tackle shops. I know you do. I know a lot of anglers do. So when I saw it, I was really excited. I was like, oh, great, another local shop. Like, this is really cool. And then the pictures came out. I was like, man, this shop's really nice, really nice. And then just couldn't get down there yet. But I'm going to get there. But yeah, to what you're saying about opening up in the pandemic, that's tough. But you know what? It seems like he's got a good team behind him. And so, same with our other two guests. So, it seems like they're going to pull through. I think everyone's going to pull through. It's tough times, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, well, I think our next guest is definitely getting there with the footprint that she and her business have made in Fredericton, a town that was definitely in need of a local tackle shop, having not too long in the past lost their more recent one. But please join me in welcoming Amanda Metz from Minnow Tackle Shop in Fredericton.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Hi,
Thanks for being here, Amanda. I see you're putting in some extra hours still at the shop.
I am tonight. Well, tonight we're open till 7 p.m. on Thursdays, so I figured I might as well just stay here and get some work done.
Yeah, no harm in that. I'd be scared to ask how many hours a week you're actually putting in, either in the shop or at least involving shop business.
Basically 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, because if you're not working it, you're dreaming about it.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. So, when exactly did you open your doors?
So we opened actually last August. We were delayed in opening because of COVID and stuff like that. And when we opened, actually, we barely had any products on the wall. It was a very small selection, but we've grown a little bit since then.
A little?
A little.
Are you being modest?
Well, I'd like to see it bigger, but it takes time.
Amanda, you only have so much space.
I'm running out.
Yeah. So, unless you're gonna, evict one of the neighbors and tear down a wall.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how we can hang it from the ceilings.
Oh, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about Minnow Tackle Shop? First off, where are you located exactly? I said you were in Fredericton, but I'll let you be a little more specific.
Yeah, so we're located at 579 King Street, right downtown, basically on the corner of King and Regent. And yeah, we basically have the St. John River in our backyard, which is convenient for us. And, it's been a great location for us so far.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, downtown Fredericton, it's a beautiful historic city, so it is a great location. And having the St. John River in your backyard could never, well, no, I shouldn't say that. There was a couple springs. It was probably considered a bad thing.
Yeah.
Not to make light of a bad situation, but on average, having the St. John River in your backyard is not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
So, now you guys, I know you're covering anglers of all types, but you've kind of developed a little bit of a specialty, and I think being in Fredericton has led to that.
Yeah. I mean, so when we opened, our goal was to have fishing products for everyone. So every species that we can fish for in our location, in our area, we wanted be able to have products that cater to that. And being in Fredericton and with the up and coming muskie fishery, we've decided that, you know, we put a lot of time and energy into having a good selection of muskie products, and I believe we have the best selection in Atlantic Canada. At least I'm going to say so.
I think that would be hard to argue.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are right there in Muskie Central, I guess you could say. And I know I already know the answer to this question because I've actually had friends do this. But if someone were to show up in Fredericton having never fished muskie before,
Yeah.
they walk through your door, they're walking back out fully outfitted, correct?
Oh yeah, completely outfitted. We got the rods, the reels, the nets, the line, the lures, the leaders, you name it. We have you covered for muskie. Well, basically all species right now.
So, and I know we've had, you know, we've done a little bit of local features for bait makers and that sort of stuff. And I know you carry some baits and some products from some mutual friends, I guess you could say.
We definitely do. So we're, you know, a new business, and we've had a lot of support from the local fishing community. So a way to kind of give back is to sell the local products. I mean, we carry Ryan Wickham's Wiki Baits. We carry Jason Wilcox's spinner baits and bucktails. We have locally tied flies, soft plastics, weights, and anything we can get local, we'll get it local before we'll buy it anywhere else.
Yeah, I saw you guys are carrying terminal tackle. Like you're really, you've got what, the Woolastook baits, soft plastics.
Yeah, we have Woolastook, we have Big River baits, East Coast angler Steve Delaney, we carry his baits. So.
Yeah. So no, it's a great little shop, Matt. There's, you know, we've got to get down to Annapolis they're down to the valley to Wild Valley. We got to get you. Actually, I'm ashamed to admit it. I have yet to darken the door at Minnow. I live in Sussex and I just haven't been in Fredericton much throughout COVID, you know, not traveling as much as we normally would. And so Amanda, I apologize for that, but I promise you sometime this summer I will get there.
All right.
I'll go with you, Donnie. As soon as these borders open up, I'll go with you.
Yeah, that's because you need gear for muskie because you want to catch one.
Well, yeah, that's it. Well, okay. On the topic of muskie, I've never caught one. I would like to. I plan on it. Yep. I'm going to come into your store. What are you going to put in my hands? What are you? A jig?
A Jake.
Oh, a Jake.
Yeah, the Muskie Mania Jake bait. I'd put either one of those or a grandma in your hands to start off because, I mean, more muskie were caught on that bait than probably all the other baits combined.
No way. Okay, I'm not familiar with these baits. I'll have to look it up, do a little research. Oh, really? Perfect. I love it.
Yeah,
they're almost as long as you are tall, Matt.
Yeah, they're big.
Well, okay, perfect.
So
big lure, big fish. That's what they say.
Yeah.
With muskie, that's just be right. Just remember, eat your Wheaties because if you're going to cast all day, you're going to feel it right here.
Yeah.
So, the knowledge I gained at Minnow Tackle Shop has me chasing fish I never imagined I could fish. Caught my first 2 sturgeon the last weekend, and I think the ink was still wet on my receipt. From Ryan Thompson. That's nice. Amanda, and I mean, you obviously saw a void in the community and filled it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense, you know, how in a city like Fredericton with the river that splits it down the middle, how could such a void exist in that city?
Honestly, I don't know. The whole reason I grew up fishing. I grew up fishing on Grand Lake, fishing for pickerel, fishing for perch. You know, I've done some fly fishing, stuff like that. And the hardest thing for me was having to drive the 2 hours to go to Bass Pro to buy what I needed, to look and touch and feel the products that I wanted to see. And that's basically why we opened Minnow Tackle, because it's just, I couldn't believe it. Canadian Tire is literally our only option in the city. Yeah. And I'm not going to say anything terrible about them, but we don't have walleye in New Brunswick. So
Oh, don't even get me started on that. So, it's, I guess you'll call it mid-May.
yeah,
What's the hot ticket item in your store right now?
striper gear.
Yeah.
So you're saying a lot of people are stocking up before they make the road trip?
A lot. Like, we have been going through sand deals like you would not believe. Actually, we weren't quite prepared for what we should have been prepared for. We've sold out a few times. I mean, we're fully stocked again now, but yeah, striper gear, the rods, the reels, like basically everybody with COVID, you can't do anything else, so you might as well go fishing.
Even without, okay, Claudine, I'll be in soon to Amanda. I can't pronounce immunology compromise. Can't wait.
Oh,
Okay. I apologize if I sounded that or said that poorly. Can't wait to get back up and clean you out of spinnerbaits, Scott.
yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's COVID has been, I don't know if anyone saw it, or I hope people saw it. Our friend Jeff Wilson wrote an article for Fishing Canada. And it basically said something along the lines, if, you know, you told me that this pandemic was going to be a blessing in disguise, or I don't remember the words he used, basically a blessing in disguise for the outdoor industry. You know, a year ago, I would have told you were crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, check out Fishing Canada and the article Jeff wrote for them, because it's true. I mean, fishing there's way more, I'm seeing way more new faces. Every tackle shop owner we talk to is, you know, new customers, people they've never seen before, people that are coming in saying, I got no clue what I'm doing. Please help me because I want to go catch fish.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been crazy. Like, the amount of people that just come in and say, you know what, I heard there's striper fishing, or I heard there's sturgeon fishing, or I've never caught a smallmouth. Like, they just come in and they basically rely on you to tell them exactly everything that they need to do and stuff like that. And it's been amazing, the customers that you meet and the people that you meet and the support we've had from the community is just, it's honestly been overwhelming.
Yeah, and then you get people like Jason Wilcox that might be a little bit hardcore. He's just chiming in saying he had to tune out for a second to net a sturgeon. So he's on the water, watching at the same time. No, that's not a hardcore fisherman. Jay's a great guy.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting community we have here in southern New Brunswick.
Oh, definitely.
So I plan on coming up, like I said to Donnie already. As an out-of-towner, as a non-New Brunswick resident, what would I expect? Like, what kind of experience could I expect when I come in and visit your shop?
Well, what are you fishing for? That's you know.
Well, if I was, I mean, you know, if I was to come up there, I mean, I would probably be after fish off my bucket list. I never caught a muskie, never caught a sturgeon. So, yeah, like what would you kind of suggest to me how to get started? Like, I would basically come in there with nothing. I have no muskie gear. I don't even know what you would use for sturgeon. So, like, what would you kind of?
Yeah, well, I mean, it would all depend. You know, you have to ask the questions. Are you going to be casting more? Are you going to be trolling more? What kind of reel do you want to deal with? Some people like bait casters, some people don't. So some people want the spinning gear, even if it is for muskie and sturgeon and stuff like that. So, you know, you have to kind of feel the customer out, see what they want. But honestly, like, if you were coming in, I'd probably just set you up with an Okuma Citrix and an Okuma Muskie EVX, either a 9'6" or a 9'3". They're telescopic and they're definitely our best sellers. Put some 80 to 100 pound Power Pro on there, or J-braid, and, you know, a Jake and some locally made leaders, and you're good to go.
Nice. Yeah, I like what you said there about the bait caster, because Donnie always picks on me that I can't use one. So is it possible? Because people have been saying no, you can't go unless you learn how to bait cast.
Oh,
I know people have done it on a fly.
Yeah.
I would probably try on a fly rod. I think I'm equipped to do that.
Yeah.
Is it possible to do it on spin gear? And what would I need? I seen Donnie kind of shake his head like no.
It would
Sturgeon,
be
sturgeon.
Well, hold on, Donnie. I'm
yes.
going to ask the expert here. We get the expert here. What can I use for spin gear?
Yeah, you could get away with using like a heavy duty pen combo.
Okay, so like kind of like the same ones you would use for stripers, like the Pen Fierce, kind of something like that.
Yeah, but no, it would have to be bigger, better than the Fierce.
Bigger. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, much
Oh.
bigger.
Yeah.
Cool.
I know some people just will not use, like, they just can't use a bait caster. They will only use spinners, and they'll even go for the big Shimano spin reels and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we don't have those in stock quite yet. They're on back order.
Okay. Well, I guess that does it, Donnie. I'm gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to teach me.
Yeah, if you want a musky fish, you've got to spend some time on a bait caster, buddy. Because I would be queasy to have a 48 or 50-inch musky grab on and be on a spinning rod. That just that's giving me chills just thinking about it. That's not going to work. You have a question there from Claudine. Do you carry women's waders? This is a question I've heard many shops asked.
Yeah. So we have our Orvis waders, which are sized for men and women. But we can also order just specifically women's waders in. If we don't carry them in store all the time, but we have ordered them in, and they're usually in within the week.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse
So
me.
what are some of the brands of gear you carry there? You in your shop.
So for fly fishing, we carry Orvis, Echo, Temple Forks, Streamside, of course.
Okay.
And for smallmouth, we have Luz, Okuma, Daiwa, Abu Garcia, Penn, Shakespeare, Ugly Stick. Yeah, we
pretty good, a good
all the
variety.
big
Yeah.
brands.
Good.
Yeah, and we do have, like I said, Shimano is on order, so hopefully we'll have them sometime before the season's over. And yeah.
That's, it's great to see you guys doing as well as you are and filling that void we mentioned before in the local community. Speaking of the local community, you guys have been pretty active in making sure you give back a little bit to the local community. So,
yeah, we've been trying to give back to our local angling groups as best we can, whether it's sponsoring some tournaments or, doing some prizes up for some tournaments. We've been we helped Blair Cox, of course, with the Fish Kids initiative, and he's doing a fantastic job at leading that. And we will continue to help him in any way that he needs. And yeah, any way that we can give back, we would like to. I mean, we're a family run business, and if we can give back to the kids or people that are less fortunate, that's what we'd like to do.
Definitely. And hats off to you for doing that. So we've got to move on and get our other guests back out here just momentarily. Before we do that, plug your social media, any thank you shout outs that you want to throw out there.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank all the local anglers that have come in here and gave us advice and actually said, okay, these are the products that we want to see in our area. And it made it so much easier to be able to provide what the anglers want. And for those people like Jason Wilcox and Kyle Price and the list goes on, and Adam and Bryant and Brandon, like that, everybody that's came in and told us, like, okay, well, can you get this product in? I think this product would sell well. And we bring it in, and it does, and it's just been incredible, and we couldn't be more appreciative of the local community here. And honestly, like, we really do have the best customers in the world, and we're super, super grateful.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Amanda, thank you so much. I know the time hasn't necessarily been split evenly for everyone, and I promise that was not in any way, shape, or form a slight to anyone. It's just the way things go sometimes, but we'll make sure we give you all the tip of the hat because God knows you all deserve it. So, Amanda, don't you go anywhere. Let's bring back John and Dan, and we'll get our little local tackle roundtable going here real quick. I'm going to say it multiple times. Thank you guys all for joining us. And on top of that, thank you for doing what you do, because you guys have the type of shops that I personally like going to.
And thanks for having us, for sure.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have you. I mean, Fish East was founded to showcase, local East Coast multi-species fishing, and a huge part of that is local East Coast multi-species tackle and tackle shops. Yeah. And you guys fit that bill, and we'd be happy to have you on again, in a week's time, because guess what? I'm sure we could talk just as long. I'm not saying we're going to. Don't make plans. But so I guess, like I said, unbeknownst to me at the start of this show, all of you guys have built your shop during a pandemic. You've basically built your business during this COVID pandemic. And I think that speaks a world for the bravery and commitment you guys show. But I also think it speaks worlds for our fishing community, that they have stepped up and supported the local shops throughout all of this and made things a success for you guys up to this point.
100% on that, for sure. Without them, there is no us. So, it's all about the customers, and it's about the camaraderie of fishing in general, and the passion that we all share. It's what unites us all, right, as anglers. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, COVID might have been the kick in the ass to make the shop happen, but as soon as we opened the doors, it was like, yeah, this is right. This was needed. Everyone says the same thing that we all thought before we started building. Like, I can't believe there's finally a shop like this here in the valley. Like, we've been needing this for so long.
For sure.
I'm the same way. I don't have to drive 2 hours to Bass Pro, but, well, I guess I do. Hour and 20 each way. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a huge gap here in Fredericton that really needed to be filled. And without our customers, we wouldn't be here today. And it's been amazing.
Okay. And Amanda used the word a while ago, overwhelming. And that's exactly what myself and Mike King have been feeling. It's overwhelming, the amount of support and, the backing that we've had. We have people rooting for us that we don't even know. And then they'll walk in the shop with a smile, and I did something. I'm like, what did you do? It's like, you'll see. And then next thing you know, your name pops up somewhere, and you got another contact for gear or whatever. It's just been, like I say, overwhelming is an awesome word to use, because that's exactly what it's been for us as an experience.
Yeah, well, overwhelming isn't always bad. That's right. The message there,
Absolutely.
though. Overwhelming isn't always bad. So I knew we do have to start moving towards wrap up, but I got a couple more questions that Matt and I are going to kind of take turns bouncing off of each of you. We're going to ask them one at a time. So Amanda, I'm going to start with you.
Mm-hmm.
What message do you have for local anglers to get them to visit your shop? What would you use to get someone through your door?
Honestly, I would treat them just like they're part of the family. Just come on in. Let's talk. Like, over the winter, we had a few events where, we had live fly tying in the shop, and just being able to come in and everyone tell stories and stuff like that. Like, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Very good. Excuse me. Oh, so now, Dan, I'm going to ask you the exact same question. John, I'm not picking on Nova Scotia and leaving you for last. It's just, if I want to pick on Nova Scotia, I'll pick on Matt. Don't worry, I'll leave you alone.
It happens.
So, Dan, I'm asking you the same question. What message do you have for local anglers? If you're going to send out a message to local anglers to encourage them to step through your doors, what do they need to know about you and Big Rigs Tackle?
Well, they're gonna. I mean, the main message we want to put out there is that come on in, we're friendly, we're gonna help you out the best we can. We're gonna go the extra mile. In the end, the more that the local anglers help us grow, the more we can all grow together, and that goes for all small business that in our community as well. Like if we stock a lot of different products here that we don't charge a commission on. We just want the foot traffic, and in turn, it helps them grow. And it's like I say, when one grows, we all grow. Instead of working against each other, we all need to start working together, especially small businesses, because we're the cusp of any community. Like, it's a small business. And the thing with that is that the big box stores, they're always going to be there. But us guys, we can be put out like a candle. So we really have to, shine our light, so to speak, and stick together.
Definitely. I love that. I love that message. And John, I'm pretty sure you know what the question is at this point. And I know people can't step through your door physically yet, but they can pull up to your curb, or they can,
check
order
out our
online.
website. Yeah. And like I said, we're limited to curbside pickup at the moment, but it's all about having that place where you can go and ask the questions, and you can see these things, and you can hold these things, and you don't have to drive far to do it. It's in your own local community. I mean, I don't think any of the big box stores will re-reel or reline someone's reel or let them whip around an ice rod or do any of those things. I guess just the same as everyone else basically says, we're that place where we want you to be able to come, we want you to be able to ask questions, we want you to be able to handle gear and try gear and figure out the ins and outs, but in the end, leave with a good feeling, with a good product in your hand that has been tried and tested, and we can stand behind that. We can set you off for a good experience, and I mean, whether you catch fish or not, at least your equipment's going to operate properly, and you're not going to have those issues to deal with at the same time. So yeah, man, I mean, our plan is just to grow within the community. Like I said, I mean, we had our doors open for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and we were closed again. But already the feedback from the local community as well. Like, I know, once the data starts to dictate where our inventory goes and where our products go, I think we're just going to more and more be able to grow, like Amanda was saying, like hitting those local anglers that really know what's going on, and what gear they need and what's going to work in the local area. We're going to be those guys that are going to actually listen to you and try to get this product if we can. Like, we're having the same issues with Shimano we've been having for 6 months, but there's things like that we actually care. If you come to us and you're like, man, I can't believe you don't have these, like, everyone I know uses these. Well, guess what? We're on the internet now looking for it, or we're taking your contact that makes them, and we're getting in touch with them. So we give a crap, I guess, man. And it's, it's what we do ourselves. So we want to obviously improve and learn and expand our knowledge, and pass that on to everyone that comes through our doors, man. And they're all doing the same. Like, there's so many guys out there, like, I don't consider myself really an expert at anything, but there's guys that come in and just throw some, like, they can bestow knowledge upon you in 5 minutes that would have taken you 10 years to figure out. The store and the client interaction is by far, hands down, what it's all about.
Definitely have to agree there with that, because I mean, we learn just as much from our customers as they learn from us. 100%.
That's 100%. That's the beauty of the local shop versus the box store. That personal touch.
Yeah, man.
And it's become pretty clear the passion you guys have towards the sport. It's pretty evident that the passion you guys have towards your shops and helping anglers, and clearly you've worked hard through these COVID times and whatnot. So in your downtime, let's say you have some free time. Let's just throw it out there. Tomorrow morning, you got some free time to go fishing, right? You just realize you're like, oh, I got some free time to go fishing tomorrow.
That'd be sweet.
I'm going to ask each of you the same question. What species are you going to target? Where, if you had a choice? And with what are you going to target them with? So I'll start with Nova Scotia first this time. So, John, what species, where, and with what?
Well, I'd definitely be going after probably smallmouth bass and brook trout at an undisclosed location on the Gaspereau River. with my Nom and Temple Fork fly rod setup I put together this year. I'm going heavier, much heavier into the fly fishing this year. I'm really trying to expand my knowledge with that. Where I conventional, all probably 90% before. And I'd probably run like a nymph and a dry fly double rig and float that down and see what grabs on. Yeah, man, you got her. That's probably what I'd be trying if I could get away tomorrow morning. 100%, I'd be on that friggin' river in about 30 minutes running from my back door.
Yeah, that's a fun setup to fish too. I like that.
Yeah, it is, man.
Yeah. Amanda, what about you?
Whew, that's a tough decision because the striper
It
fishing
is
is pretty awesome right now. But you know what? I'd probably go out and go for some smallies here on the Nashwauk. I won't tell you my exact spot, but
Never.
Yes.
yeah. We actually
Understand.
a little preview for our customers. We actually just got Lucky Craft in today, so I really want to get out and try some of the Lucky Craft products, and I want to give it a shot because I know the Z-Man Ned rig is working fantastic so far.
Nice.
Awesome. Is that what you'd be throwing, a Ned rig?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got into the Ned rig myself. Good rig.
It's literally every cast. I took my 4-year-old the other day, and her first 2 casts, she had 2 bass on.
Perfect rig for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect
It
rig
is.
for kids.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
So,
All right.
I bet you I can answer for Dan.
I sure bet you. The river's only about 300 yards behind me, and I know there's fish there right now. So that's definitely where probably hit up. And I forgot to mention earlier, but we actually became a dealer for Favorite Fishing. So
okay.
yeah, so we're going to be one of the major dealers for them for Atlantic Canada. So if anybody's looking for favorite stuff, definitely hit us up. And so for stripers, I'd be out there right now. And if I'm fishing in the main part of the river deep, because there's fish right now still from the mouth of the bay all the way up to Red Bank. So they're not all upriver yet. They're still coming in and they're going back and forth. They got tails, so they're always on the move, right? But if I'm fishing the deep stuff, I'm throwing 2.5, 3 ounce jig head with a good 10-inch bait, and I'm dragging it on the bottom nice and slow, and I'm doing some vertical jigging. If I'm upriver right now, I'll be throwing weightless jerk baits, and that's what I'd be throwing right now. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Now I
wish I could do that.
Yeah. Now the question is how can we all get tomorrow off work to go fishing?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Monday's a holiday.
That's
That's
the rumor.
true.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the rumor. Anyways, guys, Dan, Amanda, John, I can't thank you guys enough, like I said, for joining us, and I can't thank you guys enough for doing what you're doing for our fishing community. Hopefully we'll have a chance to visit with you all in person before this season is over, COVID willing.
Yeah.
Dan, I know I can get to you, and Amanda, I know I can get to you. John, I make no promises, but I do promise to try.
It is what it is.
But best of luck to you all as the season progresses, and stay in touch, and because you just never know when somebody's going to be looking for a certain product, and if we know you guys have them, we're going to send you your way, send them your way first. So
sweet, man, it's awesome you guys are doing this podcast and that, just spreading the good word and getting the information out there, right? Like that's a big part of it too. Like it's how people find out about us, right?
Yeah. Well, and this series of shows, like we said, is part of the Maritime. Oh, excuse me. Maritime Boating and Outdoor Digital Marketplace, which is put on as an online substitute for the New Brunswick Sportsman Show, the Moncton Boat Show, and the Halifax International Boat Show. So Master Promotions is doing that, and we did this special 7-episode series in conjunction with them. So hopefully we get a lot of eyes on this, which means hopefully a lot of feet through your doors.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you guys again. We will talk to you all very soon, and we will be through your doors as soon as physically possible.
Sounds good, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Good meeting you all you guys.
Have a good night, guys.
See you later.
Matt, I think we've been rambling a little bit tonight. We went a little longer than we normally do.
Yeah. But you know what? That's the tackle shops are the heart and soul of the fishing community. So, I mean, it was expected to go a little longer.
Oh, I don't mind. I could go twice as long with those guys. I mean, Amanda, Dan, John, all great people, like just top shelf people and just a lot of fun to talk to. And, I still believe that, that yes, they're the box stores. Like I think somebody said the box stores are always going to be there. But these local shops, they need us. We are the community that they are the heart and soul of. So they need us to make sure they keep going and, go in and talk and visit and spend a few bucks. You don't have to drop $300-$400 every time you go in. A couple packs of baits, spool a line, whatever it takes. Just throw a few bucks back into their business, and let's keep them going and keep them growing. So,
absolutely.
Now, we talked a little bit about traveling. Hopefully you traveling to New Brunswick and us traveling down there and all that sort of stuff. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit about traveling, because our guest next week will be New Brunswick Tourism Minister, the Honorable Tammy Scott Wallace. We're going to talk a little bit about fishing from a tourism perspective, whether it be outside tourism, you from Nova Scotia coming here, or a staycation tourism, for New Brunswickers staying here in the province. And, so next week, our guest, like I said, will be New Brunswick Tourism Minister, Tammy Scott Wallace. And we're really looking forward to that. We opened this series for the Maritime Boating and Outdoor Digital Marketplace with our New Brunswick Natural Resources Minister, Mike Holland. So we're going to close it with our tourism minister here in New Brunswick. Our special guest that we've been teasing is still coming. It just not going to be instantaneously. We've got to be a little bit patient. But when the time is right, you will understand, number one, why we were a little bit secretive about it. And number two, you'll understand why the scheduling was such a difficulty. So we've still got big plans ahead. This special series may be almost done, but Fish East Live is far from done. So once again, Matt, thank you for riding shotgun with me.
No, it's always a pleasure, Donnie. Anytime, my friend.
Love doing this, man. Always look forward to these Thursday nights. Always have fun. And, the only thing that would be more fun is if we could get out on a boat and wet a line again. So, but we'll do that just as soon as we can.
Yeah, so it's coming. Once the vaccines are all in place, I got mine booked for next week. So, hey.
I got mine 3 weeks ago.
Oh, good. Excellent. Right. Yeah. In time. We'll get there.
Exactly. So until next time, folks, on behalf of Matt Zito and myself, fish on and fish east.
We'll do the things we love again. We'll hang out with friends. We'll put our screens away and be amazed by what's been waiting for us. We'll dance and eat and laugh again. We'll look in our own backyard and find that it is full of wonders. There will be adventures and art. We will stand in the sunshine and we will be free. Where will you go first?